Yep, I've just sent it.
I've got ConnorDelaHunty2000@gmail.com. Is that correct?
Yes.
Perfect. That's saved. I'll add it to the booking for you. If you need anything else, just let me know. Looking forward to speaking with you on Tuesday at 9 a.m.
Cool, thank you. In this video, I'm showing you exactly how I'm able to capture emails reliably every single time using AI voice agents. This is the exact same setup I use for production-ready AI voice agents, and once you know how this works, there's no way you're going to be able to go back to your old methods of capturing email. If you've spent any time in the AI voice agent space building these systems, then you'll probably know how difficult it can be to capture emails over the phone using AI voice agents. They're just unreliable. They make mistakes, they don't get the spelling right, and it's just a mess. And there's no way that you could implement that sort of system for production-ready AI voice agents. So in order to capture email reliably for production-ready agents, you need a better way. Now, I've had a look on YouTube to see what's available out there, and I can safely say that I have not seen anyone else post about this method for capturing email reliably every single time. I've seen videos trying to optimize the transcriber to make sure that the agent doesn't make mistakes when capturing the email, but guys, seriously, don't rely on this. Even if it's wrong 5% of the time, even like 1% of the time, at scale, that's going to cause so many issues, it's going to be a headache, and your clients are not going to be happy. So the solution we're building today basically allows the user to text their email directly to the phone number that we're calling them on, and our system will be able to line up the user that's texted their email and match it to the current call and be able to upload their email to our CRM systems and also add them as an attendee into our Google Calendar. The way this works so well is because we capture the email right after they booked an appointment. So they've just received the confirmation text on their phone, and so all they need to do is click on that text and then text in their email, and then our system is going to be able to confirm with them live over the phone that we've got their correct email and then capture and save it. As always, I'm providing you completely for free all of the NA10 templates that I'm going to be using, the Vapi Assistant prompt, and any code that you might need. So you can literally just copy this and follow along, and you can implement the system into your own AI voice agents. Okay, so to begin with, we're going to set up our assistant in Vapi. So you're going to go to the resources in the description. You're going to download the email resource templates. And we're going to copy and paste this Vapi prompt to begin with, okay? So I'm going to copy this. We're going to create a new assistant from a blank template. We're going to name this email capture tutorial. We're going to pick 4.1 mini. I'm using ChatGPT. We're going to change this to assistant speaks first with model generated message and delete this just because we're adding kind of what to greet them with in the prompt, so we don't need to create a message. We're going to paste that prompt in and click publish. Okay, so I'll just briefly explain what's going on here. So for this example, it's going to be like a real estate business that we're creating the assistant for. So basically what this agent is going to be able to do is check availability, and then we're going to be able to book appointments into pre-existing slots on Google Calendar. So our Google Calendar is going to be set up like this. Now you might be wondering, why do we need to create the pre-made slots? So you don't have to, but for Google Calendar, this is a really nice way. If you have different types of slots, so let's say you have a discovery call that's 15 minutes, and you have certain times in the day that you just do discovery calls, and then you have consult calls that are 30 minutes, let's say, that you do at different times in the day, then you can differentiate and book different slots according to the type. So we're not going to be demonstrating that in this video today, but for the purpose of this assistant, we're going to be creating these pre-made slots that I've set to free, and then when the system is checking availability, it's going to look at which of these slots are free, and then when it books it in, it's going to change this to busy basically and add in all of the relevant information. You'll see what I mean when we test this. So we've got the prompt. Then we're going to, so you can have a read through the prompt. I'm not going to go through it, it's a bit lengthy, but you'll see, I'll explain how the email capture part of it works when we get to that point. So temperature, I'm just going to reduce this to 0.2. We'll just use Vapi Elliot for now. That should be fine. Transcriber should be, we can use Nova 3. Okay, tools we're going to set up later. Predefined functions, we can set up a forwarding phone number if you want. So we do have inbuilt forwarding in the prompt. So if the user requests they want to speak to a human, or there's a clear kind of breakdown of communication, then it will automatically transfer to a different phone number. So you can set this up here. We're not going to do that in this video. Right, so we're going to come down, we're going to leave all of these as they are. Okay, then we're going to come back to go to messaging. Now what we're going to do, you're going to download the NA10 template from the resources. So you're going to come here, it's going to be this one, you're going to download this, then you're going to come over to NA10, you're going to create a new workflow, you're going to import from file, okay, then you're going to upload the JSON that you've just downloaded, and then it should appear here. So I know this looks a little crazy, don't be scared. Okay, we'll go through exactly how all of this works. If you've watched my previous videos, then a lot of this is not anything majorly new. Okay, but essentially what's going on here is we've got the webhook, and then we've got a route by tool node here. So this is basically all of the different tools that we're giving the system access to. So we've got the check availability pathway, we've got the booking appointment pathway, we've got this pathway which is basically allowing us to see if they're an existing user and then greet them with a personalized message with their first name if they've kind of been with us before. We've got a rescheduling pathway, and then all of these three are part of the email capture pathway. So again, I'll explain how this all works when we test it and when we set this up. But what we're going to do for now is go to the webhook, go to production URL, you're going to copy this, come to Vapi, and paste this in server settings, server URL, sorry. Then we're going to add a header as well. So this is like the authentication. So what you'd need to do is come into the webhook, select header auth, and then you're going to create a new credential. So what you would do if you've not done this before is create a new credential, and then you'd basically just set, so it's got name and value. Think of this as a username and password. You can set this up however you want. Username, password. Ideally the value should be like a 64 character randomized password. I'm not going to do that for the sake of this video. I've already got a few accounts set up, so I'm going to use this one, which I know the credentials are really nice and simple just for this video. Don't actually use a password like this in real life, please. Then we're going to come to server messages. We're going to unselect all of these, and we're just going to select tool calls. Otherwise we're going to clog up the NA10 executions with a bunch of useless stuff. So just tool calls for now. Okay, and that should be the Vapi Assistant setup. Next, we're going to set up the tools in Vapi that we're going to be giving to our NA10 backend system. So you're going to go over to tools, you're going to go back to the resources that you've downloaded, and we've got all of the tools laid out here. Okay, so you can see the first one is the check availability tool. So we're going to copy this, and then come over to tools, ignore all of this. Yours will probably be empty if you're doing this for the first time, that's okay. I'm going to create a tool, custom tool. First one is check availability. The description doesn't really matter. So you're just going to come down to parameters, hit this little icon which changes it to JSON. We're going to paste this in here, and then we are going to click apply and then save. Okay, and we're basically just going to repeat the exact same process for all of the tools. So you can see the next one is the book appointment tool. So I'm going to copy this, create new tool, book appointment, paste this in, apply, and then save. Same with the lookup client by phone. So this is what is allowing us to give them a personalized message. So lookup client by phone, paste this in, apply, and then save. Okay, pretty straightforward, guys. You get the idea at this point. Reschedule appointment tool, create new tool, paste this in, apply, and save. Okay, now we've got these three tools as well that we need to add. So these are what are going to allow us to capture their email. Okay, I'm creating all of this from scratch so that you can follow along if you want the entire system. Okay, but for the email capture purpose, we've got 3 different tools, and I'll explain what these do when we set it up. So this was the start email capture tool. Paste this in, apply and save. Then we've got the poll email capture tool. Okay, paste this in here, apply and save. And then we're almost there. So the last one is the save email tool. Paste this in here, apply and save. Cool. Okay, so now we've got all of the tools set up. We can ignore this because we're going to add all of these tools to our assistant, and the assistant already has the server URL. So we're going to come back to assistants. We're going to come back to the assistant we've set up, click on tools, and we're going to select all of the tools that we just created. Okay, perfect. Then you're going to publish. So the next thing we're going to do is add our phone number. So I would recommend using Twilio. You would basically come to phone numbers. I've already got a test number here, but you would create a new phone number. If you're in the US, you get up to 10 free phone numbers. You can just select one from here if you're in the US. If not, I'm based in the UK, so I don't have that luxury. You can use any of these providers. I'd recommend Twilio. You would set up a new phone number, and then on the dashboard, you get the account SID and auth token, and you would just paste them in here and set them up. So Twilio, I think you can get phone numbers for like $1 per month, like super cheap. So it's not too difficult. And then once you've got the phone number set up, you would come down here and you would just make sure that we've got the correct assistant set up. So we're basically just assigning the phone number to the assistant that we just set up. Okay, and then you'd come up and save this. Perfect. Okay, so next we're going to set up the NA10 flow. Okay, so what you'd need to do is basically link up all your accounts. So for the Google Calendar nodes, you're going to make sure you have a Google Calendar account. So if you've not made one before, it's super simple. You can create one and just sign in with your Google account, and then that will be linked up. So super easy. And then all you would do is just make sure that you have your calendar set that you want to be using for this system. Everything else you can just leave the same. You would do the same thing for all of the Google Calendar nodes. Just make sure it's the same calendar and leave everything else the same. Okay, so the other thing we're going to set up now is the Google Sheets node. So what you would do is, first of all, create a Google Sheet with these columns. So phone, name, appointment timestamp, booking status, and email. Make sure the columns are named exactly like this, okay, because the NA10 node is going to match it by the column name. So again, you would make sure that you've got the Google Sheets account set up just via Google. Super simple. Leave everything else as it is. Just make sure that you've got the correct Google Sheets document set up here. So I need to change this to Real Estate CRM. That's the name of the Google Sheet. Okay. And then the list is just like, so if you've got more than one sheet, you can just select the correct sheet. So you just make sure that's matching up as well. So we've got the Google Calendar node set up, and we've got the Google Sheets nodes set up. The other thing we can do is set up the Twilio node. So you can see that we've got a confirmation text node, same with the rescheduling, and then a node where we're basically going to be asking them for the email over text. So just make sure this is set up with your Twilio account. To make sure this works well is you would go back to the variables, and you're just going to update these. So you're going to update what CRM system you're using, what you want the business name to be. These are all variables. Change the time zone to your time zone. You can select the business hours, so 9 to 5, and then the meeting duration, we're going to do 15 minutes for this. You can leave everything else, but just make sure the Twilio phone number is the same as your Twilio phone number. Okay, so make sure that matches up. and then that will make sure that this is all working correctly, and you can leave everything else the same. Okay, so now we've got the Twilio nodes set up. So what we need to do now, lastly, is set up. So you might be noticing these nodes here, and you might not have seen them before. Okay, so this is something that NA10 is beta testing, but I found it's working pretty well. So this is called a data table. Okay, so what you would do is open a new tab, and this is what is going to allow us to capture the email and then make sure that it matches up to the correct call ID, and then it's going to be able to poll to see if we've captured it, so we can confirm with the user over the call. So what you're going to do is go to data table. So you can see it says beta. You're going to create a new table. So I've already set this one up. I'm just going to delete these. You can see I've been testing it. So yours will look empty like this. Now what you're going to want to do is create new columns that match this. So you're going to create a new column that says call ID like this. You're going to create a new column that says phone. Then you're going to create a new column that says event ID. Then a new column that says status. Then a new column that says email. And then another one that says created at. And then these ones should already be here for you. Okay, but make sure your rows look exactly like this: call ID, phone, event ID, status, and email. Okay, you'll see how this works in a bit. But basically, what you'd make sure you need to do is go to these nodes here, and you're going to need to just select the data table that you just created and name it exactly like this: email underscore capture. Make sure it's named exactly like that. And then everything else you can leave the same. So basically what we're doing here is, after they've booked an appointment, it's also going to update our data table with their information. So it's going to update the call ID, their phone number, the event ID that we've just booked, and we're going to change the status to pending. And then we're not going to have captured the email yet. So then what happens next is, right after we've booked their appointment, which is going to ask, can you text your email to the same number you just received the confirmation text to? And then it's going to start this flow. So what we're doing is fetching the call ID to make sure that the number that we get the email from and the text matches up with the same booking that we've just booked. Because if you can imagine, right, if we've got one phone number and multiple people are calling to book and multiple people are texting their emails, we need to match them up so we're not getting mixed up. So that is what this is doing here, basically. And then we're going to just change it to pending, and then we're going to send them another SMS asking them to send their email. Then what we're going to do is wait, and so we're going to wait for about 10 seconds, and that's all in the prompt. And then what it's going to do is poll is going to trigger this tool, so the poll email capture. So what this is doing is it's checking to see, have they sent their email yet? And if they have, then what we're going to do is take their email and just confirm it back to them to make sure it's correct. And then once they've confirmed that, then it's going to trigger the last branch, where we're going to save their email and put it into our CRM, and then we're going to add the email as an attendee to the booking we've just created. Now, once you've got all this set up, just make sure all of these have your data table that you've just set up all matching. We're actually going to need to create a new workflow to capture the SMS via a webhook. So what we're going to do, we're going to come out here, we're going to create a new workflow, and you're going to go back to the resources and download the inbound SMS webhook. So you're going to download this. You're going to import this from file. Paste this in. So now you're going to get this webhook. So what this is basically allowing us to do is to capture their email when they SMS our Twilio phone number. So I'm going to save this. We need to set this up. So what you're going to do is go to production URL, copy this. You're going to go over to Twilio. You're going to go to your phone numbers, active phone numbers, click your phone number here. You're going to scroll down and you're going to see webhook when a message comes in, and you're going to paste the URL into here. Make sure this is post, and then you're going to save configuration. So this, yeah, so I've already set this up, but you just select save here and that should be set up. Okay, and then make sure this is going to your data table we just created, and then everything else, same with this one. Everything else should be set up. Okay, you're going to select, make sure this is live, and then you're going to make sure this is live as well, and we should be good to test this out. So the last thing you just need to make sure that we've set up is in our calendar. Like I said before, the way we've set this up is to book our appointments into pre-existing slots that are free. So you just make sure you have some slots that are named consult call like this, set them to 15 minutes and make sure this is set to free, and you'll see what happens when we book an appointment in. So let's give this a test. Let's see what happens.
Thank you for calling Apex Realty. This is James. How can I help you today?
Hi, I was interested in booking an appointment, please.
Okay, great. Do you have any preferred date or time for the call?
I can do any time on Tuesday.
Sure, let me check our availability. We have a few free slots available on Tuesday, 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m. Would you like to book one of those times?
9 a.m. sounds good.
Perfect. Could I get your first name to confirm the booking?
Yep, it's Connor.
Okay, Connor. I have you down for a free consultation on Tuesday, the 11th of November at 9 a.m. Does that sound good?
Yep, that sounds good.
Perfect. I've booked you for your free consultation on Tuesday, the 11th of November at 9 a.m. You'll receive a text confirmation shortly. Before we wrap up, could you please text your email address to the same number you received the confirmation text from, and I'll add it to the booking system?
Yep, sure.
No rush. I'm watching for it. Just let me know once you've sent your email address, and I'll get it added for you.
Yep, I've just sent it.
I've got ConnorDelaHunty2000 at gmail.com. Is that correct?
Yes.
Perfect. That's saved. I'll add it to the booking for you. If you need anything else, just let me know. Looking forward to speaking with you on Tuesday at 9 a.m.
Cool, thank you.
You're very welcome, Connor.
Okay, perfect. So you can see we it asked for our email. It sent us a text. I'll just read this out in case you couldn't see. But basically what happened, we got the confirmation text. It then sent us another text saying, please text your email to this number now, and then say sent on the call, we'll confirm before saving. So I just texted my email, and then you can see it confirmed with us the email, and then it booked it in, and then it added the email as an attendee to the booking we just made. And then if we go to our CRM and refresh, so you can see we've got the phone number, the name, the appointment time, the booking status, and the email was saved to the CRM as well. So to recap, so in that call, we wanted to book an appointment. It checked the availability, gave us the times. It then booked the appointment, and then it created this data table. So So if we go to data tables, go to the table we set up. So it would have created this table, this row, and it would have inserted the call ID, phone, and event ID, and the status would have been pending. Then next it asked for our email. So this is what's happening here. So, and that's where we got the text to say, can you send your email, please? And it's capturing by call ID to make sure it matches up. Then it gave us some time to send the email, and then it did the poll email capture tool, and it saw that I hadn't sent the text yet, and that's when it said, "No rush. Let me know when you've sent it." So then I sent it, and then I told the agent, "Hey, I've sent my email." And so then it called the poll email capture tool again to double check, and this time it saw that the email had been sent because in our SMS webhook we had received the text, and it had then taken the email and plugged it into the data table that we created. So it would have plugged in the email here, and then because it saw our email, it then responded asking to confirm, is this email correct? And then once I had confirmed, then it called the save email tool, and it came down here and it updated the data table, it updated our CRM with the email, and then it updated the Google Calendar booking, adding the email as an attendee, and then it responded. So that worked pretty well. I know that might seem a little complicated, but if you just download the templates, follow along, then this should work for you. And you can, in your own AI voice agents, you can copy these branches, copy the setup into your own AI voice agents, which will allow you to capture email reliably every single time. I hope this video helped. If it did, please subscribe and like the video. Comment on anything you want to see in future videos. If there's any questions you have about the flow, also comment. I reply to all of the comments at the moment. So yeah, let me know, and I'll see you in the next one.